Hi, my name's Sean Clerkin. I'm from Citizens United Against Public Service Cuts. People of Scotland, I want you to listen to me. The fact of the matter is, Britain as a union is corrupt, fraudulent and heading for oblivion. Why? Because in 2008 the banks bankrupted our British economy. The Banksters committed fraud and they stole the money from the people. And what did the Chancellor of the Exchequer of the day do, Alistair Darling? He handed over £1.2 trillion worth of money to the banksters. The banksters that were committing fraud and stealing the money from the people and committing their LIBOR frauds and doing all of that kind of thing. The fact of the matter is that money was handed over to them to continue with their massive bonuses, their massive salaries, and to continue committing their fraud every day. And that's what they've done, mis-selling products to members of the public. The fact is, it's caused austerity here in Scotland, massive austerity, because that money was all handed over to the banks. And it's caused massive austerity and poverty here in Scotland and throughout Britain. The fact of the matter is that we have Save the Children in the last 2 weeks launching an appeal to feed British children because they're suffering from malnutrition and starvation. And secondly, we've got a London charity feeding children who are suffering from hunger. And thirdly, we've got food banks being set up all over Britain, 3 a week being created, where people in low incomes working hard cannot afford to feed their children and have to go hand in foot to these food banks to feed their kids. And the fact of the matter is that here in Scotland, the same is happening. All over Scotland, there's food banks in Dundee, in Edinburgh, in Glasgow, in Aberdeen, even in Aberdeen. The fact of the matter is that what we're seeing here is the impoverishment of the people. The money was stolen from us, given to the banksters, and what we have now is £10 billion worth of cuts planned, further cuts planned in our welfare benefits to make the poor poorer. We have Atos, the French company, who are a sponsor of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow for 2014, forcing dying people, disabled people who are dying, to go back to work, who die a few months later. That's the kind of country we're now living in. And what I'm saying very clearly is that in Aberdeen, they're closing half the libraries. In North Lanarkshire, they're making £73 million worth of cuts, closing schools, closing care homes for the elderly, closing swimming pools. And in Glasgow, 1,000 workers are going to lose their jobs and a £50 million worth of cuts. These are all the cuts that have been forced on the Scottish Government in Edinburgh by the London-based Tories and Liberal Democrats. Those people in London are a tyranny on the people of Scotland, a tyranny on all our people and all our working class communities. We're having our public services destroyed, we're having our benefits destroyed, and we're basically forcing people to choose between heating their homes or feeding themselves. And even in the cases of both, it's not enough. And people are starving, people are going without heat. And do you know that 450 people in Scotland died of malnutrition since 2008 when the banksters stole all the money off us? That's 450 people have died of starvation here in Scotland. It's a disgrace. What can we do about it? Well, we should be free and independent. That's what we should be, because we'll have social justice. We can redistribute income and wealth to have decent benefits for our elderly and for our young, and for all the vulnerable people, poor and vulnerable people in our community. We can create jobs for the young, we can cherish our elderly, and we can allow the rest of our people to live full, enriching lives. That's what we need to do. And we can do that by redistribution of income and wealth, and it means taxing the rich and taxing the big companies and basically giving real social justice for the people of Scotland. And that's what we need to do. We need to be a free country, free and independent. Get rid of NATO, get rid of Trident. And that's what we need to do. What do we also need to do? We also need to free our people, so that free the talents, the skills, the energy, the abilities of our people to create a wealthy Scotland. That's what we need to do. This is my rant about it. I am a very angry man. I've occupied banks, I've occupied government offices to get the social justice, and the media just ignore us. Well, they can't ignore us any longer. We are going to vote for independence in 2014. We want a free and independent Scotland. Come and join the Yes Scotland campaign. Come and join the independence campaign. We need to be free free from the tyranny of London, free from the tyranny of the City of London, free from the bankers and the banksters, because they are only banksters. They are gangsters that are stealing our money. The shysters and the millionaires that are in the cabinet in London, we need to be free of them now. And that's what we need to campaign for: freedom and independence. Talk to your neighbour, talk to your mum, talk to members of your family, get them to vote for independence in 2014. We need independence now.